Patios are excellent places to enjoy plants in containers. They can be filled with colorful foliage plants, flowers, vegetables, herbs, or mixtures of those plants, small shrubs, and even small trees. And they're portable, so you can move them around to their best advantage. For instance, a pot of geraniums will grow very well out in the full sun in the cool springtime of the year, but later in the summertime, when it gets a lot hotter, it will benefit from being moved to a shady location. Well, there are lots of materials to choose from when choosing a container, and the most common is the terracotta pot or the clay pot. And all of these materials have their advantages and disadvantages, and you can see one of the disadvantages or advantages, however you look at it, is that the terracotta pots will have a lot of mineral deposits on the outside because they are a porous material. It kind of allows the root ball of the plant to breathe, but you can get some of this mineral buildup. You can clean that with a mild bleach solution. The terracotta pots allow the plant to dry out very well, and they're sort of thick, so they allow a little bit of buffer from the hot sun. This is a plastic pot that's commonly used as a container, but the plastic offers very little buffer from the heat of the summer. You can see how thin the wall of this pot is. And what happens a lot of time is that out in the full sun, the edge of that plastic will get so hot that the roots that are in contact with it will die and can really stress the plant out. Plastic pots are good in that they hold their moisture for a long time, and they're some of the least expensive of the pots. This next type of container is a molded polymer, and it's kind of a terracotta color, but it's more lightweight. And if you look close and if you feel of it, the pot looks a lot like a plastic pot also. It is a little bit better than the plastic pots in that it has a little bit thicker sidewall to provide some buffer from the heat. This type of container is a material that's been available for the last few years, and this is the new Thermolite material containers, and it's a very, very lightweight pot, and it looks a lot like terracotta, and even looking really close it looks like some of those clay pots, but it has a very thick sidewall up to over a half an inch, so it provides very good buffer from the heat. These pots are UV resistant, so they're not going to deteriorate out in the sun, and they won't freeze and crack like some of the terracotta pots could if left out in the wintertime. But very good choice for a container. And you can see that the pots have to have holes drilled in the bottom. They don't come with pre-drilled holes, so you'll want to do that with not only this type of pot, but with the molded polymers and some of the plastics as well. I've seen sometimes where people will take some type of sharp object and just puncture one hole in the bottom of the pot, and that doesn't really help out a whole lot because that hole can kind of close back up. So go ahead and take your drill and drill several holes in the bottoms of these pots. Also, you hear a lot of people talk about in publications that say that you need to put a layer of gravel or crushed terracotta in the bottom of your containers. Don't do that. That's old information. We no longer recommend that you put any gravel in the bottom of your pot. It was once thought that this would help in the drainage, but it helps in drainage about the same way that putting a layer of gravel in your bathtub is going to help your bathtub to drain better. So don't do it. Use that space for more potting soil. And when you use a potting soil, you'll want to choose one that's both well drained and does hold some moisture. And I recommend that you mix slow release fertilizer like this into your mix before you plant your containers. And even with this slow release fertilizer in there, you'll still have to periodically fertilize your plants throughout the growing season. Well, one of our volunteers has put together some really nice mixed containers. We're here at the home of Olin and Teresa Thomas, And Teresa has put together these wonderful mixed containers. She's done just an outstanding job of filling them up where they're just flowing over with plants. And you can see she's got this upright center element here with the annual fountain grass or tender pennisetum as the upright focal point in this container. Then there's some shrubbier plants around it. And then finally all these cascading plants just spilling out and just completely covering the container. Makes a really good effect. You can see some little miniature helichrysum right here. And right down here is a very nice white fanflower or scaevola. We've got some petunias right here. And then also we have the blue wishbone flower. Very showy right now. And this other container right over here, we've got another fountain grass. This is the purple fountain grass as the center part. And we've got a little purple nemesia still in bloom, even though it's getting kind of warm. Next to that, we have the cherry pink million bells, and that's such a bright color spilling over the edge of the pot there. And then, of course, one of the standbys here, the margarita sweet potato. And then, of course, the blue fanflower or blue scaevola spilling out beneath that sweet potato. She has another interesting combination in this container. She's got a few tropical plants. For the tall center element, she's got this variegated Dracaena and also a croton or codalium, providing some wonderful tropical color in the back here. Then the sweet potato here is blackie with this nice dark purple foliage. And then we've got some ornamental tobacco right here with this kind of burgundy color. She has one more container right back here. And again, it's got the beautiful annual fountain grass in the center, the dwarf helichrysum, more of the million bells, and a showy little white geranium. And the effect is just wonderful, the way these plants completely fill the containers and spill over the edges.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.